Every election is said to be the most important election of our lifetimes. But I think we can agree that whoever takes the presidency in January of 2021, whether it is for the first time or for the beginning of a second term, will be faced with a set of challenges greater than anyone who's had to face since at least the days of Roosevelt. Not only are we in a crisis of health and economy and international standing, we are in a crisis of meaning for ourselves as a nation. So I've taken some time over the past few months to look and see how can we and who can best lead us back towards those values which make us Americans. Today, I've decided to look at Joe Biden's pledge to build back better. And I'm asking the question, what is it exactly that we need to build back better? Now, I'm not talking about the economy or our health system or any specific issue. What is it inside of us and inside of our nations as Americans do we need to build again, to build back better? The first thing I think is to find again, to build better again, a wish, a common wish, an American wish to come together, to believe that unity is of itself important and necessary for us as a nation. We had a slogan or a basic principle stated, albeit in Latin, at the very beginning of our nation, e pluribus unum, out of many one. President Lincoln said presciently, right before the Civil War, that a house divided against itself cannot long stand. And that is every bit as true now as it was then. We have to find a way, even when we disagree about issues and perhaps disagree passionately about them, to find it valuable to believe that we still have common ground, common values, and a shared destiny as Americans. We need to build back better the trust that our leaders in each of the branches, our executive, our legislative, our judicial leaders, both recognize our differences and distinctions, and yet will try to bridge the divisions between us and not make them wider. We need to build back better a certain common acceptance of norms and standards with regard to the way we treat each other and the way that our government is run. We need to find a consistency, a reliability, a fairness, a predictability. We need to build back together a respect for decency, for civility, for dignity, and for respect for the individuals, even when they differ for us. We need to recognize that if someone disagrees with you, it doesn't make them your enemy. If they ask you difficult and embarrassing questions as a leader, it doesn't make them the enemy of the people. We need to develop a common sense, decent sense of what is fairness. That if one set of rules and one set of practices applies for one group of people, the same should apply to another. If they apply to one party, they should apply to the other. We need to build back a trust and respect for our core institutions. That is not going to be difficult to do. We need to build back a trust for the fairness, objectivity of our courts. That won't be easy. We need to build back a respect for our Congress, a sense that they actually are trying to the best of their ability to serve all of the people, because that's who they're elected to serve. We need to build back a respect for our national intelligence services and recognize that they are not instruments of partisan politics, but that they are there to keep all of us as a nation safe. We need to build back a respect for the sanctity of our military, to know that they will not be used as political pawns, that they will be governed by international law, and that they will be used in a way that benefits the entirety of the United States. We need to build back a sense of respect for our police, both that we respect them as an institution, and that they respect the citizenry, that they are governed by laws in the same way that they govern us. That they are, and we need to build back better the sense that our institutions are reliable, that they are fair, equal, and transparent. We need to build back better a sense that we will adhere to our international commitments. We need to build back better the sense that our national leadership speaks to us with the truth, that it's an objective truth and not influenced by their own partisan politics. This is true for both the executive branch and the legislative and the judicial. When people are trying to gain office in a political campaign, naturally they will say things that are self-serving. We expect that. But when they are in government, they take on a new role, and we expect that they will speak to us as one with their best attempt to tell the truth to the American people. We need to build back a sense that there are reliable sources of facts, news, and knowledge, that those sources are objective and not swayed by short-term political concerns. I remember a time when we, in general, believed the facts that were presented to us by our network news and by our great national newspapers. We might have disagreed with opinions. In Vietnam, for example, there were tremendous differences of opinion about what we should or should not be doing, whether we were there correctly, whether we had a right to be there or none at all. But there was never a doubt about the fact that we were in Vietnam. There was never a thought that the people dying in Vietnam were hoaxes. We need to build back a sense of accommodation and consensus and the value of compromise. I don't mean compromise of your basic values. I don't mean abandonment of your basic principles. I mean the recognition that in any effort, we need to find ways of advancing what we wish, what one party wishes, what one group of people wish, while at the same time recognizing and believing it's a good thing to acknowledge that there are multiple stakeholders and other voices. We need to build back the recognition that the economic opportunities and bounty inherent in our great system must be available to every segment of the society. Not that we are going to be equal. People will differ from their industry and from their opportunities and from their efforts. We understand that not everybody is going to be exactly the same, but everybody should have the same kinds of opportunities, and more importantly, that changes in the system, actions by administrations with regard to the system, need to not only benefit one group, they need to have an eye to the benefits of all groups. I think both administrations or all administrations in the past may have lost sense of that. Finally, and most importantly, and I fear most difficultly, we need to build back better our common identity as Americans. We are not red states and blue states. We are the United States of America. We are not just white Americans or Black Americans, Hispanic Americans or Asian Americans, gay Americans or straight Americans, Democratic Americans or Republican Americans. We are not fascist Americans or socialist Americans. We are Americans together. We are in this boat together, and we have a common future and a common identity and a common destiny. If we do not hang together, as Benjamin Franklin said, we will surely hang alone. These are challenging times. It's difficult to make these points. It's difficult to hear them. I'm not a professional pundit. I'm not a commentator or a governor or a politician. I'm a regular American, just like you, just like all of you, just like all of us. I am a husband. I am a father. I'm a doctor. I would not have spent the amount of time it has taken me to research these issues, to articulate them, and to learn this technology that it's taking me to present them to you today, which is not so easy for somebody my age, by the way. I would have not taken these dozens and dozens and perhaps hundreds of hours at this point if I did not think that we were at a crucial junction, that this is a tremendously dangerous but opportunistic time. They say a crisis is a time of maximum danger coupled with maximum opportunity. If we can take this moment, if we can seize this moment, all of us together, to show that we really do believe in our basic principles. We believe in truth. We believe in decency. We believe in honesty. We believe in reliability. We believe in fairness and equal justice and the rule of law. If we can hold these truths for ourselves and proclaim them to the world, then we will demonstrate the genius of our founding fathers' vision, the resilience of our democracy, and the eternal reason why our nation has been a beacon to the rest of the world. We can regain that. We can regain that with one momentous movement all together. I think it's our time. I think this is our moment. This is our moment to come home to who we are, who we have really always been, and who we really must be. This is the moment to come home, America. Come home. It's time to come home. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.